Hello, thanks for joining me. David Dunford here. Tonight we're going to talk about self-limiting beliefs and how sometimes the one person that's getting in your way is the very person that's staring back at you in the mirror. So I heard something interesting recently from a mentor of mine. He talked about how 20% of the people that you are trying to help are just not going to be helped. And that's not because you're doing anything wrong necessarily. It's because they are just not willing to do what they need to do to get the success that they really want and that you want them to have. So that's, I hope that it's one of those statistics that you hope is not true, right? That 20% of people are just not going to do it. Well, why is that? I mean, why would they even get involved with home business or network marketing, or why would they even start in the first place if they're just not going to do if they're never going to be willing to do what they need to be successful? Well, it's interesting. I don't think any one of us start out with, I'm just going to start this, but my plan is to eventually fail or not follow through with it like I need to in order to be successful. I mean, that's not our plan, right? So our plan is that we start on a course and we want success, but what is it that gets in the way? Well, self-limiting beliefs get in the way. So what are those beliefs? One of those beliefs is when you think that it's going to work for other people, but it's just not going to work for me. And maybe this is something that you realize, and maybe it's something you don't realize. But sometimes that belief of, yeah, so and so, it worked for them and that's great, but I'm just not so sure. Deep down inside, you're just not sure that it's going to work for you. And that self-limiting belief is going to influence your actions. So another one is just not believing that you're good enough, right? So this is hard sometimes to believe that you can do all these things, that others can do that are bringing them success. Sometimes it's well, getting up in front of people is really hard for me, so I'm never going to be able to help people like I really need to, or I just am not good at this stuff, or I just struggle with this or that, and you just limit yourself as to what you really can do because you don't believe that you can do it. So let me give you a couple of examples. There's a friend of mine that actually had some self-limiting beliefs, and she is an amazing success story where she was able to work through that, fight through it. Somebody, a mentor, believed in her, believed that she had a lot to offer, and offered her a position as what's called a facilitator. So somebody that helps, that trains others to be successful. And at first, she just wasn't sure that she could do this. Having that self-limiting belief that, well, I can't do that. That's not something that. Well, why are they asking me, right? But she went and she did it, and somebody believed in her, and eventually she believed in herself, and now she is just on fire. I mean, she's going and doing training sessions with people in her affiliate company that look to her for leadership and guidance, and she is able to help people wherever she goes. I mean, she just has this confidence and this fire about her. That she was able to gain by pushing through that self-limiting belief. So sometimes it's just that person staring back in the mirror that is saying you can't do it, or that you're not good enough, and you've got to push through that in order to find the success that you really can achieve. The other example is actually Debbie and I. So for a while, as we were pursuing the attraction marketing approach, we just had some self-limiting beliefs as to whether this, was going to work for us, or whether this was a good thing. And we went actually to a convention where we just got inspired that this could work for us. Others that are super successful using this approach weren't very good at it at first, so they had to fight their own battles, and they had to learn and work with a mentor and get to the point where they were good at it, but they just weren't at first. So they didn't let that stop them or get them down just because they weren't as good as they needed to be at first. They let other people help them. They learned along the way. They grew until they got to the point where they were able to be a mentor to others. So as soon as we believed for ourselves that this could work for us, that we can do this, it just set us on a path, and we invested ourselves into this process, and it's just going along great. So just like us or this other example, my friend, these are examples of people that have pushed through these self-limiting beliefs, and you can too. Now I want to read a quote to you, and let me just pull it up here. If I can turn this on, I need to. Of course, I'm using my phone to do the live, so I have to use another phone to read you this quote. But just before I let you go here, I love this quote, and I think it goes along really great with what we're talking about. So this is Marianne Williamson. She says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." So I love that. I mean, regardless of your religious beliefs, I think all of us can gain something from that. How we have that ability to influence others for good. And sometimes our greatest fear is not that we can't do it, it's that we are able to do it, that we do have that strength, we do have that power, we do have that light within us, and we can do great things if we will just let ourselves do it. So thank you for joining us, or joining me. Debbie's not here. She's actually at a training meeting and learning a lot of great things. But thank you for joining me. I hope this was valuable for you, and I'll see you later. Thanks.